Hello and welcome to Viewpoint. I'm Zakir Jacob. After days of drama around the Congress presidential election, we today finally have clarity on who the contest is going to be between. It's going to be between Shashi Tharoor, who is the unofficial candidate, the rebel candidate. Some are even calling him the G23 candidate. Well, we don't even know if such a thing now exists after today's developments. And then there is the official candidate, the family candidate, the Gandhi clan-backed candidate, who is Mallikarjun Kharge. Some very, very pertinent questions arise. Mr. Kharge is being seen as the candidate who has the blessings of the family. Will any of these 9,000-odd PCC delegates dare to vote against the family? More importantly, what happens to the G23? Because everyone on the G23 side, from a Bhupinder Hooda to a Manish Tiwari, they have all been proposers of Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge's candidature. Even though Shashi Tharoor thinks that he's part of the G23, fact is that many of the G23 members have signed and proposed Mr. Kharge's name. So, the question that begs to be asked, if the point of this entire exercise was that the family will not back any candidate, it's going to be an open, free and fair election, will that come to pass? Because everyone in the Congress and everyone in the country knows that 80-year-old Mr. Kharge is the chosen one.
It's the most expected twist in the race for Congress's next president. There won't be a Gandhi in the top post for the first time in more than 20 years, but the Parivar has made sure their man is in the running. Mallikarjun Kharge, leader of opposition in the Rajya Sabha and a through and through Gandhi loyalist, filed his nomination today.
मुझे जो सहकार मिला उनको, उसलिए उनका फिर एक बार मैं आभारी हूं। कांग्रेस पार्टी के जो उसूल हैं, जो आइडियोलॉजी है, उस आइडियोलॉजी के साथ मैं बचपन से जुड़ा हूं।
From the looks of it, Congress ka haath is with Kharge. Apart from getting the Gandhi's blessings, Kharge walked into the AICC with signatures of 30 proposers who were some of the most prominent names in the party, including Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot, who was the first choice of the Gandhis for the top post up until his rebellion last week. Another proposer was Digvijay Singh, who up until the morning of the nomination had declared that he too was in the race.
उनसे मैंने पूछा था कि आप अगर फॉर्म भर रहे हो तो मैं नहीं भरूंगा। उनका इरादा है फॉर्म भरने का, तो मैंने कहा कि ठीक है, मैं आपका प्रस्तावक बनूंगा।
Kharge will be going up against Shashi Tharoor, a three-time member of parliament and a former union minister. Unlike Kharge, Tharoor wasn't flanked by the who's who of Congress when he filed his nomination papers.
I was not prepared for the extraordinarily enthusiastic collection of Congress workers. I have a vision for the Congress, for the internal reorganization of the Congress, which I will be sending to every one of the 9,100 and odd delegates.
A Gandhi loyalist versus a member of the G23. Are the odds stacked against Shashi Tharoor?
Kharge ji will be elected. In fact, my appeal is that he should be elected unanimously.
Okay, you want Mr. Tharoor to be withdrawing from the contest?
I think it would be in the fitness of things.
Is this a democratic election to lead a party that is going through its worst ever crisis, or just a friendly fight? And at the end of the day, will the next Congress chief simply be a proxy of the Gandhi family?
I want to first go across to Pallavi Ghosh, our senior editor, who's been tracking the Congress party for a number of years now. Pallavi, initially the whole purpose of this election was that no Gandhi should stand, and more importantly, the family should not be seen as endorsing any candidate. And up until last evening, it seemed the case. But this morning, with Mr. Kharge's candidature and Digvijay Singh withdrawing, now it's very apparent to anyone that Mr. Kharge, and I'm not, blaming him, I'm not, chastising him. The fact is that everyone in the Congress party knows he is the quote-unquote family candidate.
Absolutely. In fact, Zaka, if you just go through a sequence of events and the points I give out is how the process itself explains why it doesn't seem to be a real election. I mean, Mrs. Gandhi, whenever she's met any top leader, whether it's K.C. Venugopal, even Ashok Gehlot, even Shashi Tharoor, she would keep telling them, I am neutral. I don't have any favorites. I'm not approving or disapproving of anyone. You all decide who wants to contest. But the moment Ashok Gehlot, in a sense, rebelled, I think that was the time when a call was taken by Mrs. Gandhi with a very close group of leaders around her that we have to teach him a lesson. Therefore, if you remember Mukul Vasnik, on the day he goes across to meet Mr. Gehlot, he takes a message from Mrs. Gandhi to him that please do not file your nomination papers, and that is what you should be telling her. So when he finally did meet Sonia Gandhi, Mr. Gehlot himself tells her that if you don't want me to contest, I won't. She says, okay, my advice to you ideally is don't contest. So that I think that was the first step when she decided to intervene in the electoral process, and that's when the hunt began for a reliable, the right person with the right credentials. And it was after much deliberations late last night at a meeting with Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra that Mallikarjun Kharge's name was singled upon. A.K. Antony, I'm told, was supposed to go back to Kerala. He was made to stay back one extra day only so that he also signs as a proposer for Mallikarjun Kharge. So these are the events which clearly show that this is not a real election. It's all being micromanaged, it's all being planned. And if you look at what I saw through the day in AICC, there was a method in that madness. Workers coming in, the party media department organizing it, and leaders are being asked to come in and propose his name.
No, the other question that it certainly does raise is, what happened to this G23 rebellion? I mean, every member of that G23, other than the ones who've left, from an Anand Sharma to a Bhupinder Hooda, all of them were there along with Mr. Kharge. So what happens to their rebellion?
Well, I mean, frankly speaking, Zaka, there's not much left of the G23. I think the first blow they suffered was one when Kapil Sibal left, and second when Ghulam Nabi Azad also left. And since there's been a simmering of anger within a section of the G23 leaders, and some of them are going to start getting vocal. I also think they realize that they cannot have those numbers definitely. Kharge is, for them, a more appropriate candidate, and that's why they decided to support him and not, say, a Shashi Tharoor, who, if you remember, was actually initially a G23 member.
I guess, as you said, as Kumari Shelja said to you a moment ago, Mr. Tharoor might even, withdraw his nomination. We'll see how this plays out. For the moment, thank you very much. Let me go across to our guest now. Guru Prakash Paswan is national spokesperson of the BJP. Mudit Agarwal is spokesperson of the Congress Party. Shipra Mathur is a senior journalist, and Kapil Madan, political analyst, joining us. Mudit Agarwal, let me start with you, because the whole point of this election was that the Gandhi family is completely staying out of it. They don't have a favorite candidate. None of their family members are going to stand for the CP's post. So it was supposedly a free and fair election. But now with Mr. Kharge, and he's an 80-year-old, it's very apparent to every congressman, every delegate of those 9,000, that Mr. Kharge is the chosen one. So what is the free and fairness in this election?
I mean, you can do whatever conjecture that you want. I mean, media has the right to do that. If you remember, Mrs. Gandhi herself has said she is going to be neutral in these elections, and she is. She does not have a candidate which she has endorsed. See, the people anyone who is a Congress delegate out of 9,000 odd could file their nomination. All they needed was support of 10 delegates. Period. Shashi Tharoor ji had filed. There was never any restriction on anyone else who wanted to file. All you had to do was file a legal nomination paper. So what is the issue?
Mr. Agarwal, are you seriously telling me that all these 9,000 delegates, in fact, the lakhs of your karyakartas in the Congress party, do not know that Mr. Kharge is the chosen one of the family?
I mean, that's for you to, you can do whatever guesswork you want to do, but Mrs. Gandhi has said, and is clearly said, that I don't have a candidate in that. And I tend to believe Mrs. Gandhi on that.
No, I would have bought that narrative till last night when the two candidates were Digvijay Singh and Shashi Tharoor. And I don't think, to be fair to the family, I don't think they have a bone in this fight, or a dog in this fight, as it were, between Digvijay Singh and Shashi Tharoor.